Hey everybody, I want you to head down to teespring.com and check out Bondy's Boutique and get some of Bondy's merch.
Hey everybody, it's your girl Bondy Blue and I am back for another 90 Day Fiance the Other Way / the Family Day Chantel review, you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with Tiffany and Roland. So Tiffany and Roland are about to get married, and y'all remember he had to go to the casino to get her dad. So everybody's like all nervous and anxious that he might relapse. You know, he's hearing all the sounds, seeing all the lights, but come to find out everything went fine. He picked up her dad and they're on their way for the wedding, okay? So they show us them getting ready for the wedding, y'all. It really wasn't much. Like, I feel like they were spreading this out, but ultimately they had a very beautiful wedding. It was a beautiful ceremony, and he cried, and the son was happy to have another parent to listen to. They were just super cute. Like, this actual wedding ceremony part was beautiful. The reception was nice. Tiffany looked beautiful. You know, did I mention he cried, y'all? It was just, my heart was warmed, okay? My heart was really warmed. But I'm still nervous, and I'm still scared. And the beat goes on. Okay, because next week they're going to be trying to find somewhere to stay. And the bars that are on the windows are making her worry if South Africa isn't safe. And it's like, it's not. Not the area y'all in. Okay, it don't seem like it's safe, but I also feel like certain areas here aren't safe. So, you know, maybe y'all need to find wherever people, you know, middle class South Africans live at. Fine, where is that at? Okay, I know there's somewhere. So let's move on to Alan and Laura. Alan and Laura are going shopping, and they're still arguing about the vibrator situation. Like, he's still very upset about it. She feels like he's being immature, and he needs to be able to discuss her lack of satisfaction because she ain't getting no satisfaction. She's not at all. And I feel like, you know, you tried it out the first time. So if that first time when you tried it out, it wasn't good, why are we here? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a firm believer. Test it out. Test it out. They're about to start Ramadan, which means there's going to be fasting and also changing of clothing and wearing traditional clothing for Ramadan. And he wants to buy her a abaya, which is their traditional dress that comes with like a hood to cover your hair. I actually find and I said this with Jenny because she had a problem with it too. And this is when you find out how much research they don't do about the place that they're moving to. And that frustrates me so much, because just base level common sense should tell you, if I'm moving to a country that the culture is different and in an extremist way, maybe I should do a little research about what is acceptable there so that I don't get myself in trouble or hurt, okay? So the fact that she didn't do any real research annoys me, okay? The fact that you didn't know you were going to have to dress in his traditional garb, like, why is that a big deal every time they go to these countries and be with these men? Like, Jenny made a big deal out of it. Laura's making a big deal out of it. And I think that all of it is beautiful, and I would wear it. I would cover my hair, like, whatever. I'm in their culture. If this is what it takes for me to just blend in, I'm going to put a hood over my head. Like, this is not a big deal. At least not to me, okay? But that's also because I would not choose to live there. I would travel there. I would maybe just go to see the culture, but I would definitely be respectful of what their culture is when I go to their country. Like, in the fact that American people are so, like, just refuse to do what the rest of the fucking world does. And, you know, just taking other people's cultures, especially when you're moving somewhere. Like, every time somebody has to move here, they have to learn everything about America and go through all of this. And, you know, they better know American, and y'all can't even say English. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all always talking about how they better know the language here, and then they, you know, we go there and we still don't have to learn the language. Like, it's just disrespectful to me. I find it disrespectful. She's making a big deal out of it. She keeps saying how she doesn't like the fact that, you know, society is telling a woman what to wear. And it's like, girl, even though you're being told to cover up when you're there, you're still being told what to wear when you're here. It's just done in a different way. I say all the time that America has mastermind the mind fuck, okay? They know how to make you feel like you're not, being forced to make a decision, but you kind of really are. Because it is how societal pressures affect us, okay? And the same thing happens in other countries. They're just more direct and I don't want to say, violent, but they just feel that way stronger than we do. They are still in a certain time period where they are. We are not in that time period anymore. They stayed there. We've moved on. Okay. But it is not much different. And I just kind of feel like if you're going to live there, you need to understand that beforehand. Getting there and now making a big deal out of it and embarrassing him in that store where the man is giving discounts and shit. Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just felt like she was doing the most and she could have just let him buy the dress and shut up about it. Like, pick you a pretty purple one or something and shut up about it already. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how I feel, but whatever. So they go and visit his boss and she mentions how the reason why she didn't like him picking her dress was because she thought he was like, starting to try to make her submit to him. And that's not who she is. But I also feel like you're going to have to submit in one way or another because that is their society. Like you're gonna have to at one point or another. So now she's starting to battle with herself about if she made the right decision because of the way they see things. So when they go to the boss's house, this is made even more clear because he starts to explain that if the boss doesn't extend his hand, don't extend yours. As a woman, that is something that men do. But if he doesn't know her, if he doesn't feel that way and she reaches out her hand, it's a sign of disrespect in some way. So she's feeling some type of way about that. So she's stressed out. When they meet each other, he reaches out. He knows, I feel like he's aware of Americans. He knows their culture. So he tried to make her feel comfortable. And they visit all of these birds that he has. Like he has those, I forgot what they called, y'all. I forgot what they called. But whenever I see them, I think about that movie with Eddie Griffin. Double Take. You know what I'm saying? When they was hiding out from the federale hoods and all that, and they was at that motel that had the emu. That's what it is. Emu. Anyway, they had all of these $300,000 birds. Okay. This man was dressed in the I don't know what they call it, but in their traditional male garb with like the headpiece and everything. And you could just tell, like, that's a sign that he had paper. Like, you could just tell. And then you go, he has all these birds and she's so scared to get by the birds. And I'm not mad about that. Like, I don't want no bird on my head. So I wasn't mad that she didn't really want to go in there. But it just, sometimes when people are so like, it kind of seems like they're not trying to, they're not trying to really engage. It just kind of feels that way. But I'm glad nobody made a big deal about her being scared of the birds because I would have been scared too. So they talk. And the boss, tells her how it's legal in Qatar for a man to have 4 wives. And, sometimes the man will tell his wife, sometimes he won't, sometimes the wife will choose the other wives. So I thought that was very interesting. And she kept saying that too. That's very interesting. And she's wondering if the reason why he hasn't told her about that is because he plans on having more than one wife if their situation doesn't work out the way she or he plans it. And look, just because they can doesn't mean he wants to do that. But I am wondering what Aladdin's motives are. I am wondering why. Like, what is it about this woman that you want? Because you seem to be, not as open-minded as we thought you were. Not even just about the vibrator, but all in all, the energy is starting to feel different. And I don't understand what his motives are. I'm going to just be honest. But the boss likes her, so that was cool. So, y'all, let's move on to Devin and Jihoon. She calls him and tells him that her blood pressure is high and that she has to get her C-section sooner than originally thought. But she told Jihoon not to buy his plane ticket too early, and he did it anyway. And now he's telling her that he's not transferring a ticket because it's not refundable. So he would just lose his money. And I don't think she understands that Ji-hoon isn't rich. Like, we've seen Ji-hoon's parents' home. So I think spending that extra money on another plane ticket would have set him back. So he was like, no, I'm not doing that. And then you see next episode that they end up video, FaceTiming when she's having the C-section. He seemed sorry. I still felt bad for her, though, because I know that that's not what she wanted. But now she's questioning his commitment, and that's when I got upset. Because I'm like, you questioning his commitment? This is about money. This is about money, and y'all have a fucking baby coming, and you want him to lose however much money he spent. And I'm sure the ticket wasn't cheap since he's coming from another country on the other side of the world, okay? Let's not forget that. It's not like it's close. It's far. And I imagine that the ticket wasn't cheap, probably like $1,000 plus. So it would be a loss for him if he would do that. So I'm not mad at him, but I understand how she feels. But her questioning his commitment, I think, is, doing the most. But you can't tell somebody how to feel. So I guess, Devin. Y'all, Karine and Paul make my nerves bad. So they go looking at houses to rent. It's time for them to get a place of their own because the baby's coming. And Karine is trying to be responsible. And Paul is trying to live above his means so that he can be comfortable. They see one house is larger. It has more than one bathroom. It has an air conditioner that works really well. And he likes that. There aren't a lot of mosquitoes. It's air conditioned. He's loving it. They go to the next place. Okay, because that first place was like what, $1,000, like $1,100, 1,100 American dollars. And then they went to another place which was smaller, one bathroom, no air conditioning, but Karine liked it because it was smaller. She gonna have to clean the shit. She don't want to clean no big ass house. So she was happy with the small little house without the air conditioning, which only cost $260. You don't even have a job. You don't know if you're going to stay in the country because you've been denied residency. And your old lady don't even really like you like that. Like, let's just be honest. Your wife don't like you like that. Her parents don't like you like that. There's a great possibility that Karine is going to be left alone in wherever y'all end up living, which is why she wants to be able to afford it on her own, which is why she wants it to be something that she can manage on her own with the baby. Like, I can see where Karine's mind is. And she believes that Paul is being immature about it. So later on, they're sitting down on the porch, the mom, Paul, and Karine. And Karine brings up that Paul wanted a paternity test. And we remember he said that on the reunion, on the tell-all. And Paul says that the embassy could ask for a paternity test when trying to get residency through having a child there. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to get your child over. However he was explaining it, he was blaming it on the embassy. He said that he used to feel like maybe he should get a DNA test because Karine is always talking to other guys. But, now he knows that the baby is his. I personally feel like if Karine had another option in front of her, she would have chose that other option already. So I don't think she's actually physically had sex with anybody. But like a lot of these girls, she's talking to men and getting money. Like a lot of these girls on these shows, she is running that gab, typing away, and getting money. And while she's trying to translate to Paul about how if the embassy doesn't require the DNA test, she doesn't think she should have to take it, she gets a text message from whoever the dude is that she's talking to. And he's like, who is that? Why are you talking in English to some dude? Like, she texting in English, and I guess he must feel like, what the fuck? Why are you going the extra mile with somebody texting in English? And she's like, nothing, Paul. I get money from them. They help. And he's like, I don't care if they helping you. I don't do that to you. Why do you think that's okay? So Paul is not okay with the fact that she talking to other dudes, and she's straight up admitting that she talking to him for money. And I feel like that's fucked up. Like, you basically telling your man that you kind of low-key, doing web prostitution. Like I don't even know how to describe that because, that is messed up to me. And I don't like that. And it does have a bad feeling to it. But at the same time, Karine is thinking about the future and about y'all's child, and she needs money. So that's what her mind is right now. And I feel like that's always been what her mind is. And Paul is just stupid. But I still feel like she was wrong. And her mama sat there and didn't say a fucking word. Now, she may not have understood what was going on because it was in English. But still, like, your daughter was straight up wrong. Okay? Your daughter was wrong. And then she gets up and tells Paul, fuck him, and runs off. And I'm like, girl, you dead ass wrong. Yeah. I hope you know that. And then next episode, we see Paul running into the doghouse. Y'all, what's wrong with Paul? Like, what's wrong with Paul? Like, oh Lord, I don't understand sometimes. Y'all, Corey and Evelyn. Corey has been in Ecuador for a month now, and he's on the beach. He's been interacting with the locals more. He is trying to be more independent so that Evelyn will marry him. And when he's leaving the beach, you know, some of the homeboys call him by Evelyn's ex name, who is also an American man. And to them, apparently, all you white boys look the same. So Corey goes back and he's like, no, my name is Corey. You know what I'm saying? My name is Corey. So he goes back to the bar to tell Evelyn about this. And she starts talking about how everybody loved her ex and he was so smart and he talked to everybody on the island and, you know, he was really funny. And it's like, so why are you not with him? Why are you with Corey? Okay? Then come to find out she cheated on Corey, talking about they was on a break. She didn't know her ex was in town, but he came in town and then she made a mistake. And it's like, well, bitch, if you wasn't on a break, then it's a mistake. But if you were on a break, then why are you saying it was a mistake? Like, shut up, Evelyn. You should feel ashamed of yourself. I don't like her. I try to like her because I feel like there's a blunt honesty about her that I respect. But at the same time, I think she's a trash ass person. And she's only using Corey. I don't think she actually cares about him at all. This then turns into, you know, you're just another white guy to them. And maybe if you talk to people a little bit more, they would know who you were. And it's like, dude, like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. We don't even look alike like that. And she's still talking to her ex, talking about they've known each other for so long. Like, bitch, so what? So what? Okay? Corey says it was obvious that she wanted space, but he didn't want space. But he then promises her he will stop talking about it. So he says all of that, and then she makes him feel like shit about it, and he says he'll, you know, stop talking about it. And I'm just I'm over Evelyn and Corey, and I'm ready for him to just come back to the States and find him a nice little white girl to marry who will treat him nicely. Because I don't like Evelyn. I don't like Evelyn. She's a bitch. Like, that was messed up. And the fact that you telling him to get over it and stop talking about it, and then you cheated on him with dude, like, really? He wasn't being messed up for that. Like, he can't even come back and tell you about it. Like, check your fucking friends. Evelyn, this is what he's trying to tell you. Y'all, let's move on to the family day, Chantel. So, y'all, Pedro fronting like he about to jump out the car. That's where the episode started off, right? And Chantel is like, if you feel like you need to jump out the car, go ahead and jump out the car, okay? And then he says, nah, I ain't gonna do that, you know. Stop messing with me, you know, talking shit to her. And then he says, you know, remember, one day it's gonna be over. Remember that. I'm like, oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, Pedro? Okay, so not all bets are off. And Chantel went the fuck in and said, okay, well, if you move your mom and your sister into our apartment, I'm going to just move in with my parents. That's what you want anyway, right? We can just go ahead and break this shit up right now. We can go ahead and get the divorce so you can go and live up your mama ass like a slave, giving your mama all your damn money. Go ahead and be a fucking fool. He says, yeah, I be the biggest fool. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So they didn't talk bad to one another. But the next morning, she getting up making scrambled eggs and toast and shit, talking about she want to apologize to him because she said some mean things to him, like he didn't say any mean things to her. And that's the problem. She's always caving in when Pedro should also be apologizing. Pedro feels like he never has to apologize. And when he does apologize, like he did for dancing with old girl, it's almost like, come on now, you're going to make me do all of this? Come on now, forgive me. Like, it's not even as genuine as you would like it to be. So Pedro really works on my nerves, and Chantel pissed me off by deciding to, you know, fix eggs for him and apologize like he didn't do shit to her too. So she says that, you know, from now on, she would like to be included in his decision making. Like, it would have made a world of a difference if he would have told her about his, you know, want to bring his family here ahead of time instead of dropping that bomb on her in front of all of them people. So then, you know, he's looking away and not really making eye contact, which annoyed the shit out of me. And then he admits that he should have told her about it, and he apologized for that. But like I said, once again, not making eye contact, and she had to make scrambled eggs and apologize to him first, but he bucked up about them eggs. Also, Pedro always does something for a reason. Pedro is apologizing to Chantel because he still hasn't told Chantel about his visit to the lawyers and how he's going to need her to bring his mom and his sister over here. So now he's going to do everything he's doing that's nice to Chantel or that's helping with their family dynamic, you know, like going on this guy's trip with her dad and River. You doing all of that so that you can guilt Chantel into bringing your mama and your sister over here. And I think that's fucked up. I think that's very manipulative. And I think that's something that he learned from his mom and his sister. So Chantel is chauffeuring Pedro's ass around because apparently he can't pass the driver's test. He says he knows how to drive. Basically seeming as if he pretending like he can't drive so Chantel will bring him everywhere. I'm like, okay. So then they're going on a double date with Winter and Ja. And Chantel is trying to throw the attention onto Ja. And Chantel pissed me off this episode because instead of being better than your mom with this bullshit, you decide to join in and make it worse and then be the leader of going to get a fucking investigation done on Ja because supposedly you don't know enough about him and he doesn't talk to y'all. No, y'all have been self-absorbed with Pedro and Chantel's problems. Y'all didn't even care. Karen and her daddy was not even worrying about Winter and Ja because he's American, okay? They was not even worrying about him. And y'all don't know anything about him because everybody's too busy worrying about what's going on with Chantel and Pedro. Let's be honest, okay? And now that everybody is back home, y'all want to throw the attention over to Winter and Ja because you want to get the attention off of you, Chantel. You ain't fucking slick. I see you and you wrong. You so wrong for this. They go putt, right? They go play golf. And she instantly kind of gets into how, you know, I really don't know anything about you. And I just kind of feel like, you know, you only say 2 words to me. You only say like hi and bye. And Pedro is like, why you do that? Like, why you do that, you know? And he says, you know, y'all kind of been, you know, busy fighting and stuff like that. So maybe that's why you don't really know me. But he said he did want to talk to the family because he plans to take things to the next level. And Chantel says, well, what does that mean? And he says, I want to propose to Winter. And she's like, well, I kind of feel like maybe you should come around and get to know the family a little bit more before you propose marriage. First of all, Chantel, don't nobody really need y'all permission like that. Like Josh said, I'm going to talk to the family, but ultimately, if I want to get engaged, I'm going to get engaged. Like, this is about Winter. This is not about them. But Chantel's suspicions are correct because Ja is hiding something. And I'm just like, Lord, I'm scared of what he hiding. Okay, because Chantel feels like if her husband could lie to her, then Winter's boyfriend can definitely lie to her. And this is true, but everybody ain't like you, Chantel. Everybody is not a glutton for punishments. Everybody doesn't want to keep having the same problem with the same man over and over and over and over again. Some of us learn our lessons and move on to better relationships. Therefore, we don't have these problems. Okay, not everybody is going through what you're going through, bitch. Not everybody man got a big old secret, but it seems like in y'all family, that's just something y'all do. Y'all get men who have big secrets from y'all. But I love the way Pedro kept telling Chantel to chill out. That shit was so funny. And then later on, Pedro says, man, you know what you're marrying into, man. Don't be like me, okay, man? Don't do this, man. Don't be like me. I'm like, oh no, don't warn him, Pedro. Don't warn him. Okay, he should know by now. So Thomas reaches out to Pedro and they meet up to talk. And he invites him to a guy's trip. Okay, you know, he wants to talk to him. He wants to get into a better place with him. And this is why I feel like this was a really good idea. Because I feel like without Karen around, Thomas can actually be the leader in the situation. And I also feel like he will be in the middle like he promised Pedro. Pedro is scared that if he goes and gets into it with River, that the dad is going to be on River's side. But I really do feel like the dad genuinely thinks that Pedro loves Chantel. He's just not about to fight with his wife. Like, he gonna let her say what she wants to say and do what she want to do. But that doesn't mean that that's exactly how he feels. I think it's obvious that the dad is more inclined to give Pedro a chance. And I think he's trying to make an effort. And I really appreciate that about the daddy. I'm not even gonna lie. And he says he wants to go ride horses. That's what Pedro wants to do. So the dad says, okay, we can make a guy's trip, and they ended up going to like a dude ranch. And Pedro was so excited about it. And Pedro has never had like a brother or a dad. And it's obvious that if Pedro had been treated better in the beginning, he may have been more receptive. Because I don't even think he really has a problem with the dad. He just kind of groups him in with Karen because the man has to defend and stand behind his wife. And he even said that's what he gonna do. He ain't about to let nobody talk bad about his wife, and he gonna check his wife. He gonna do it in private, like you should. Karen said a guy's trip won't help. I said, yes, it will, Karen. Shut up. Okay? Honestly, I feel like if it was just Thomas and Pedro, it would have been cool. But I think River and him need to squash that shit. Like, y'all men, y'all fought. Get over it, okay? Like, forgive each other and move on. Because at the end of the day, River, you played a part. You got up, you called him a nigga, which offended him. And then you hit the lamp at him. And then he came around the table and tried to grab onto you. But the real champion, the one who did the most damage, was Nicole, okay? So I think they need to just forgive each other and move on. Because it doesn't even matter what's going on, really. Pedro and Chantel are together. And if you want to still have y'all family, it would be cool, River, if you could kind of let it go. But River is holding a hard grudge. And he doesn't think it's a good idea. He thinks that Pedro is this terrible person. And they need to just, stop messing with him and just, divorce him. He don't even want to deal with him. But his dad talks him into going on a trip anyway. So when Pedro gets home, he tells Chantel about it. And she's like, really? She's excited about it. And I would be too. She's happy that he's finally going to spend some time with her dad and her brother and maybe resolve the issue. So Chantel and her mom have had a conversation and decided to go to the same private investigator and go ahead and investigate Ra, right? And Chantel tells Pedro about it. And Pedro says, I don't think you should do that. Like, you remember what they did to me, baby, And even though she realizes that it looks hypocritical, she feels like she didn't know everything about Pedro. And I'm like, even though you didn't know everything, y'all are still together, which means even if you did know, you would have still made the same decision. That's what that means. And so for you to feel like your sister, who already don't like the fact that you all in her business, is going to be okay or grateful for this, no. And Pedro gave her the best advice. I really was feeling Pedro this episode. Pedro said, all right, baby, but she gonna blame you. She gonna blame you. But do what you want to do. I was like, okay, Pedro, you better tell her the truth and then go ahead and move on. Okay, I'm going to play on my computer and take off my clothes and get in my computer, okay? Pedro gets in a car with River and the dad. And River was already in the car going off about how stupid this is and how he feels like they're rewarding Pedro for his bad behavior. And it's like, look, man, you're looking at this the whole wrong way. They're not rewarding him for shit. Y'all already straight up disrespected him. Y'all started this shit. Be honest with yourself, River. Your family not getting out of that van when they whole family cooked all of that food for you, whether you was scared or not. Then people was all standing outside and you sat your ass in the car and wouldn't get out. Y'all were fucked up for that. Y'all offended them people. And now you want to sit up here and act like it's all Pedro. No, it's your family too, River. Okay? And I think Thomas knows that. So that's why Thomas is pushing so hard for them to let this happen. So River gets in the back seat so Pedro can get in the front seat. And he was like, thank for the shotgun. And no problem, man. And that was it. And then River went to sleep. And then Thomas and Pedro had conversation. And Pedro's excited about the horses. And I was just happy. And I hope that they can resolve the issue because River just seems to have a lot of hate towards Pedro. And I get it, but come on, dude. Like, you're doing a bit much. At least in my opinion, I feel like you're doing a bit much. So Chantel and her mom go to the PI to find out what the PI found out about the sister boyfriend Ja. And when they first went there to talk to the PI, they didn't know anything about him. Didn't know what he did for a living. Didn't know his birthday. Just knew his name, And when she did her research and they find out what's going on, Karen didn't even want to do it, but felt like she had to once Chantel brought that shit to the forefront. Because it's almost like you care more about one daughter than you do about the other. And Winston has already said that she feels as if she's always lived in Chantel's shadow. And she's found herself in being a woman with Ja and also being a stepmother figure to his daughter. And she's been in a picture since that little girl was like 1 year old or something like that. I mean, I could be wrong. I can't remember. But I think the little girl is like 6 now and they've been together for like about 5 years. So yeah, she has her life. And even though he's hiding something from her, I just kind of feel like they didn't even care until Chantel brought attention to it. They didn't even care. You know what I mean? To do a background check on him. It's been 5 years and y'all ain't care because within that 5 years, y'all have been dealing with the Pedro Chantel situation. Because Pedro and Chantel have been together for how long? 7 to 6 years? Something like that. So the investigator pulls out the papers and says, there's no easy way to say this. He has another child. I said, no, not another child. Not another child, y'all. No. Not another child. Oh, Lord. That's a big secret. That is a huge secret. The only reason you had another child is if you had the other child when you were in the relationship with Winter. Ooh. Winter is the cutest little Cabbage Patch Kid. I feel bad for her. Y'all, that was the Family Day Chantel. We'll be back next week. Love ya. Like, comment, and subscribe.